Well, howdy, partners. It's the Weekly Roundup.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Weekly Roundup, episode something, I don't know, Tom made a mess of it last week, so
Four-ish, five-ish.
four or five. We've got Martin Ball standing in for Tom because he's too lazy to do it apparently. So we've got Martin. How are we doing, Martin?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, I'm alright, mate.
Oh,
How was
good.
your darting week this week? Anything exciting happen?
What did we get to? So, I think I had the team leagues first. Played young Colin. Played Colin in the team leagues. He played really well, actually. I think after 2 legs, I think he was about 55 average or something like that. He played really well.
Nice, mate.
And then, yeah, went down. So, yeah, I was a bit concerned initially, like, it's a bit... I thought he was going to take more of us, but it was good. Yeah.
Funnily enough, I played the team league and it was Tygo. I played and it was, oh my God, it was one of the worst games of darts I've ever been a part of. The two of us were rank rotten. I mean,
He's quite a good
generally
player,
Tygo, he's a good player.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I mean, he will say it himself, the two of us couldn't hit a double. It was hilarious. I think we ended up with like low 40s averages. It was just...
Was it?
Jesus.
Right,
it was disgusting. Disgusting.
Yeah, he's done me a couple of times, Tygo.
He's a good player, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a very good player. So, yeah, it was just bizarre. The two of us were just horrific.
Yeah, unusual game.
Horrific. So, how did you get on with your league match? Obviously, we will be going on to that.
League match, who did I play? Can't remember now. Was it played?
I won't tell you how you
Last gone totally blank now.
What division are you in? C you're in now, isn't it?
C, yeah, so it was
Ben Payne.
Ben Payne, that was it, yeah, Ben.
Ben Payne.
Yeah, beat him 4-2, which I didn't expect, to be honest. 4-1 was it?
4-1, mate, it says on the
4-1, yeah.
leaderboard. There you go.
No,
mate.
it was, yeah, played okay. I don't think he was up to his usual standard, to be honest, but yeah.
Well, funnily enough, I played Paul Houghton, who usually I do really well against.
Yeah, he usually beats him, don't he?
There seems to be a common theme here, mate, but it was horrific.
Was it?
So Paul actually beat me. I think he beat me 4-2, I think it was. I could be wrong.
Right.
And I had a catch-up with... Who the hell was it? Was it Kyle? It may have been Kyle.
Yeah, saw that come in, yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was Chris Jordan. Sorry, I'm talking mince. Chris Jordan. And that was a 3 each. That was one of those sort of weird ones. I just couldn't hit a double.
It's a bit of a funny week.
Great in that. Yeah, it was just not what you're looking for. And in the Prem, I get beat in the Prem as well. I get beat by Michael Carey in the first round. He was 70 something average after, was it 2 or 3 legs? He was just, he was knocking the lights out, to be honest. You're just like, absolutely nothing you could do against that.
Funnily enough, I beat Tygo in the Prem, just with, like first points up on the board, so I was well made up. Yeah, so it was good. Yeah. Good.
Did you see the match between Ollie and James? I know James won't really want us to mention this.
Yes, so some of it, yeah. Yeah, some level that, isn't it?
Because myself and Gary, we were going, all right, we'll just do a bit of live commentary.
Yeah.
I think it was finished in about 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, I think you said 12 minutes. I think it was on the...
what the hell, man? So we end up doing a couple other matches. That's a waste of time setting everything up for nothing.
And not doing it, yeah.
But his average was mate, he's 9 dart average, I think at one point it was over 100, and that was like a couple of sets in.
Really?
Yeah, it was, James wasn't playing particularly poorly, he just didn't get a sniff. Yeah. Well, I think James is a bit under the weather at the moment, so...
Yeah, I think he's had a bit of a bad back, hasn't he? So he was saying. So obviously, I think he said he tried to troop through a bit, but obviously you can't, if it's bad, there's no way you can play, is there?
So whoever's got him in the Prem tonight, they've got You'll get a free pass.
Yeah, I've got to buy it. Obviously, we don't know because he doesn't like sharing.
It could be you, mate.
I know I've played James. I would
have you
hope
played
so.
him?
I've played him. I played him first game.
There goes that plan, mate. There goes that plan.
I know that. I was hoping maybe, but no, it's not going to happen. So we'll see. I'm not sure who he's got. It's unknown, isn't it?
Yeah, well, mate. Speaking of tournaments, have you got the results there? Did James fire them over to you, mate?
So he sent them over for the one night tournaments. So we've got on Monday we had 501. So we had Peter Ninefingers and Jamie Scott, and Peter won 4-3.
Oh.
Wednesday we had the 1001, the one leg. We had 20 people for that, so that was quite good.
Nice.
And we had Cookie beat Big Tom in the final.
Oh, so I've seen that one.
You remember that coming in? Yeah, so I think he's a bit gutted about that, obviously.
It was nice to see Tom getting a bit of form, though, because Tom's been...
Yeah.
Oh, he's been horrific recently.
He's had a good week this week, hasn't he? So he'll be made
up in his game, especially with his match against... Sorry, I interrupt you, but the match against the Hedgehog. You see that?
Yes, I saw that yesterday.
It's like, was it first to 4 sets? Jesus Christ.
It was a slog, that.
That's right. I'd set it up for the TikTok thing, but obviously it was you that messaged in, and I didn't realise I had I've got an audio interface thing I've got, so there's multiple ways it can...
Yeah.
So I just sent it to the other one, but I didn't realise that my main one was also going to TikTok. So I'm sitting watching Dexter, and everybody else could hear the soundtrack. Oh, Jesus.
I could hear it. My missus said, I thought you're not watching the darts. It was like there's like Dexter in the background. It was like, is that my phone, or is it... is it actually on? But yeah, no, it was on. It's funny that, yeah.
Oh, brilliant,
yeah. So, and then Thursday we had the 501 again. We had Stephen Walker and Colin Pestridge, from our league managers. We had 31 that night for that.
Nice, mate.
Yeah, Stephen won 4-1. Friday we did I think it was during the storms and stuff like that. So we had one during the week, during the day, sorry.
During the day, mate, yeah.
12 o'clock late. So we had 21 in for that. And there was Paul Carr and James in the final. And Paul Carr won 4-1.
Nice.
And then Saturday, I think James had said, or we'd spoken and said, like, we'll try and mix it up a little bit. I think he said last week on the roundup.
I think it's because myself and Tom gave him abuse. I think that was why.
Yeah, you give it. Yeah, so
he was getting a bit tight.
Yeah, well, we put the 1001 in on the Tuesday, so I think he must have thought on for the Saturday as well. So we did. He did every round was like a different format. So we had so round one was 701, single in, single out, and best of 7. Round 2 we have.
It's hilarious how if you play that, you realise how often you miss a single number.
Oh, I play now. Noah played Noah the first round, and I think twice. I think I was going for the 20, missed the 19, and it was it's unbelievable, isn't it? Like you think, I'll do normally it doubles. You don't do it.
Yeah, it's strange. It's a strange. I couldn't play because I had all my games, the catch-up games I had to play them all on Friday, so I was a bit annoyed.
Yeah, so you had a busy Saturday. Yeah, so we have... So the second round was 301, double in, double out. I never used it a fan, to be fair, but it's good I was out first round, so...
Yeah.
Round 3, we had 501, single in, double out. Semis was 170, best of 9, double in, double out. And then we had the final then for the 250, the Bull Challenge.
Yeah.
Which is always a good one. Like, I always enjoy that. But
bonkers.
Yeah. So, who do we have for that? So, each on different formats. So, we had 32 in for that again on the Saturday.
That's brilliant.
Good numbers again, yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Wood beat James Deere 2-1. And then we did Tommy Newman asked to see if he could do one today.
I seen that, mate, yeah.
One. Yeah, so James put one on. There was 19 in for that, and that was just a straight 501, and Steve Walker beat Michael Wood.
We need to put a
4-1
stop
for
to
that.
this Steve Walker guy.
I've only played him a couple of times, but
I've not had the
he's
pleasure
very
yet,
good.
mate. But just, I mean, that's a few he's won.
Yeah,
He's winning at least one a week.
It seems to be, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, he is good.
We'll all need to up our game, I think, mate.
It's
Yeah.
a bit on that. Yeah, it was good.
But yeah.
The tournament.
Speaking of young Tommy, you want to see the challenge the admin, mate? Because it was young Tommy.
Yeah, you get Tommy today. Yeah,
and we could find out who he's drawn. Just do a couple of questions first, and then we'll hear who his admin is.
Find out.
Here we go, mate. Right, Tommy, so let's get underway. Ready for your questions, pal?
Yeah.
What is your favourite football team?
Unfortunately, Man United.
Sorry about that. If you could only watch one movie for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh. I have no idea. Oh, Dad, what's the movie you like?
Maybe I.
Yeah,
If you don't
if you only had to watch one movie.
have an
So I
answer,
don't-
pals, don't worry about it.
I don't watch many movies, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll go on to your next
It's
one
quite
then.
boring.
Because you're
I would two completely off the bat. Deadpool,
Oh, yeah.
City Bang Bang.
The thing is...
Chitty, bang, bang.
Mate, nostalgic that way.
Oh, Dan, Jesus Christ, son.
I'll probably do with him and then go
Oh.
Deadpool.
Certainly not chitty, bang, bang, pal. What hobby or activity brings you the most joy? Outside of darts, obviously, so you can't pick darts.
Can't really pick darts, no. Probably going on my Xbox, to be honest.
Yeah.
Or, like, with my mates and stuff like that.
What do you
really.
play?
COD, FIFA, bunch of stuff.
One thing about COD, it's a bit fishy. Right, that's enough of that nonsense. I was going to ask what your favourite book or author, but I take it you're not much of a reader. Or are you?
Huh?
Do you like
What?
books? Do you like books? Reading?
Never paper rings at home.
Yeah, things with words. Right, we'll move on to the
Yeah.
next one then. What's the weirdest or most unusual food you've ever tried?
Food.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm picky with, like, anything, so... I mean... Oh, you shouldn't be asking me this, because I take out basically any vegetables.
So that
Literally.
would be the weirdest thing, is a vegetable.
Anything
Would it?
which is healthy, it's like, no.
If you ever meet up, we're going to get you to eat haggis. That's what's happening.
Yes.
Haggis is going
No.
in your belly.
No.
It's a little animal. It's got 2 legs shorter than the other, so it can only run round in circles so that they can't run away. It's just a little animal, lives on the beach, 2 legs shorter than the other.
Really?
It's got
Yeah.
legs run round in circles,
And
yeah.
it wears a
And
kilt.
they can't get away.
It
It's
wears a
so
kilt.
easy to catch.
Yeah, it wears a kilt as well, so it's quite cool. Right.
Yeah, I'm really picky, so I don't think I can really answer that. I don't... Unless I've tried anything stupid while I was a kid,
Yeah.
or younger.
Right, here's your last
Yeah,
question, and then we'll get on to the wheel of misfortune. Do you have a favourite music genre? Or artist? Or band?
I mean, I do like Eminem. He's probably my favourite artist.
Nice. Nicey nice.
And, yeah, basically rap, maybe.
Mm.
But some stuff's too much, some stuff's alright.
Right, are you ready for this? This is when
Yeah.
we find out how horrific this actually is. Look at that. Can you see it?
Oh, I need to watch podcasts more.
Can you see them?
Yeah.
So basically,
Wait.
there's going to be 3 spins, and then whatever the 3 spins are, you could end up having the same one, whatever the 3 spins are, you have got to throw the 3 darts. It could be that you've got the same thing twice, or you could have the same one 3 times.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Here we go, Paul. This is not pretty. I'm just going to pre-warn you. Here we go.
I have little arms. I don't think I can throw basically any of them.
Oh, underarm.
Oh,
Nice.
I'm not.
Underarm for the Tomster. You ready? You could get that again
Yeah.
as well, Paul. You ready? Here we go. Here's what your next 3 darts are going to be. Oh, flight first. So that basically means you aim with the flight pointing towards the board.
Wait, what's that then? Oh,
So that will be hilarious.
I will like some of my wool left after this.
I can't promise anything, mate. I'm going to switch up. And here is your last 3. The underarm one's not bad. The flight first, I've never
No.
tried that, so I don't know.
I need to get my old K-flexes on.
Oh, here we go.
Literally just got new ones.
Here's your last 3, Paul. We have had
Oh.
that, and that is
Not
bananas.
bad.
Scoreboard.
Not bad.
So basically,
I'm happy with that.
basically,
What happened?
Dizzy,
I like Dizzy darts.
basically, Dizzy darts has you spin 10 times and then you throw your 3 darts after you've spun 10 times. Obviously, we have to trust that you're doing that. But obviously, your dad over there watching you, I'm assuming.
Yeah, there's a mirror next to our dartboard, so it may be broken after this.
Right, you ready to see who you're up against?
Yeah.
Who do you want? Here's the list of people. Who are you wanting out of all those guys?
Oh, I mean, I might like. I mean, if it's
What, a shot at this
probably
guy?
Rich, to be honest,
Oh,
I
you
might
want
like
Rich?
Rich.
Oh, here we
Yeah,
go.
or Tom.
Tom's been drawn before.
Maybe.
Uh,
Oh wait, is Tom there? I can't see.
Tom is there, Paul. Yep, he
no.
has been drawn before, though. So, you ready?
Yeah.
That's
How
better.
the hell did you throw him like that?
Here we go. Oh, you've got oh, Richie boy. Rich, Mr. 2 Darts himself. Oh.
Fuck's sake. Oh, sorry.
So, here we go, pal. How do you think you'll go on? Do you think you'll take Rich? Think I'll take him down? Do you think you'll take Rich down to Chinatown?
Yeah, I will. I'll smash him.
Nice, mate. Right. Well, good luck, you two. Oh, man.
Ah, excellent. Got
Well,
lots
I'm-
of confidence there.
And all I'm going to say is, wait till you see Rich's questions. Jesus Christ. He's one of those
so-
Duracell bunnies, honest to God. Watch this.
It's,
Here's Rich answered some questions. Obviously, when I was asking Tommy questions, there's a couple of them that I didn't bother asking him. There's
yes.
no point. He's,
Yeah.
he's sort of too
Fair
young
enough.
to
Yeah.
answer the questions. But here's Rich's questions. This guy is
Excellent.
bananas. Here we go, mate. Right, Rich, let's do it, mate. Well,
Hey there, fella.
groovy. So you're up against young Tommy.
Right, excellent.
So we'll get some questions so the guys can get to know you a wee bit better. Maybe after this, they'll sort of avoid you, I think, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got one answer that I think they're going to start avoiding me, but let's crack on.
As long as your movie isn't Brokeback Mountain, mate, we're all right.
No, you're all right on the movie one.
Right, you ready?
Yep.
What is your favourite football team?
Right, that's West Ham. Not a big football fan, though, but West Ham from Hammer. A little bit of glory in the last few years, not much, but
Yeah,
there you
very
go.
good, mate. If you could only watch one movie for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Right, well, can I give you 2 movies?
There you go, mate.
Because Snatch is probably number 1 for me. I think it's a phenomenal film. I
Yeah.
watch it over and over.
Class, mate.
But one I've probably watched the most has got to be Dumb and Dumber.
Right?
There's two sort of sides. One's obviously a comedy, and one's I
Yeah,
don't know
but,
what you class Snatch as.
Dumb and Dumber's is class, to be fair. It is
I love it.
it's
Mate,
hilarious.
I love it. Honestly, that's probably I've seen that film the most times out of everything.
is.
If it's on, I'm watching
There's
it.
so many scenes, it's just ridiculous, but it just still makes you laugh. It's just daft.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right. What hobby or activity brings you the most joy outside of darts?
That would have to be fishing.
I was going to say.
All day I was sat
Yeah.
there in a fishing top. No, I haven't been fishing. Yeah, lovely fishing.
Who is your favourite author or what's your favourite book?
Right, well, like some of the other people who've been on here, I'm not a massive reader.
Right?
Like, as an author, I would sort of go back to childhood and say, like, Roald Dahl would have to be, and especially having young kids now,
Yeah.
like, he writes some good books. You know what I mean? They're good books.
Right.
But the best book I've read, and I've only read a couple since I left school, is called The Damage Done.
Oh.
About a guy who gets basically banged up for heroin trafficking in Thailand, and he goes to the Bangkok Hilton, and it's like the first, like, I don't know what the first page of the book's called, but I read that, and that was it. I just read the book and didn't think twice about it. Brilliant,
Nice, man.
brilliant book. Yeah.
What is your guilty pleasure movie or TV show?
Incoming time. You ready for the
no.
that down, right? It's Love Island, my friend.
Oh.
Yeah, mate. But I must say, the last few series has been shit. The first leg, when it first started, I'm going to hate myself for saying that is it. And I thought of it as soon as I heard you say this question the first time, I knew my answer.
Pete, you're no longer got the worst answer for that question, mate. Jesus. Yeah, that was. Well, that wasn't even Michael's 30th letter. That was just his book.
Oh, yeah, true.
Oh. What's the weirdest or most unusual food you've ever tried?
Right. Well, like you, I've also had ostrich, and I absolutely loved it.
It was nice.
It probably would be ostrich. I'd say I'm really not
Yeah.
an adventurous eater. Like when you were talking about haggis and black pudding the other day, I was like, oh my god, no. I'm real. I'll tell you to the extent I don't eat rice, pasta. Like, I'm like a tatties man. You know what I mean? Like,
You need to try haggis,
yeah.
mate. It's better than people think. People think it's going to be disgusting. It's not as bad as you think.
You gotta get past my lips. That's the problem. up here, telling this not the open.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You shall not pass.
No, absolutely.
Do you have a favourite music genre or artist?
Yeah, music genre. It'd have to be jungle from back in the 90s.
Oh.
The old rave music.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was my bag back then, mate. I used to love it.
What age are you
Always
at?
out rave. I'm 43. I'll be 44 in a month's
Right,
time. So I just caught the back end of that.
Yeah.
So 96, 97, 98. I left school in 96.
Nice,
97, 98, and that was I was still on the fringes of it all. And
Yeah,
jungle music.
Oh, God.
Love it.
Use a wee sec, mate. I can't remember what the bloody. Do you want to know what you're going to be throwing?
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
So your first 3 darts are underarm. So in other words, you need to throw from your
Yeah.
hip. Your second 3 darts are flight first. So you have to throw them with the flight pointing towards the board.
Okay, like an X or something, or what?
Just normal,
Okay.
but the flight you have to have the flight pointing at the board when you throw it.
Do you know what? I should have practiced some of these off of that wheel when I watched the podcast.
Yeah.
I thought, why didn't I do that?
That's why I didn't tell you earlier what you'd drawn, mate.
Yeah, of course.
And your last 3 is dizzy dart.
Right, I knew
See,
that was going
you
to be in there.
spin
so I didn't
you
think.
spin 10 times and then you throw your 3 darts, mate.
Right.
Right.
Good days.
So
Right, shall I get on with it then?
Yeah.
Shall I?
let's see how you go
Right,
on,
let
mate.
me just pop downstairs. I know you'll be editing this bit out. That's why I've come upstairs.
See, at that point, Rich was still talking. They just kept talking, and you're going, Rich,
still
we're going
going.
to cut. We're not going directly to you throwing your darts. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ! I just had to hit the stop button and then edit it. And
Yeah, carry on.
Rich. Rich.
some unusual answers that conflicting.
You can always tell someone that doesn't read a lot of books when they say, yeah, the first page, whatever that's called. Yeah, Rich, that's called the first page, mate. It's not got a fancy name.
So,
Yeah.
so it's like,
Oh, he's
it was the Love Island.
Love.
It's he's a wrong gun for that.
No. Pete gets off the hook with that one. That's safe Pete.
Yeah, he's on the
brilliant,
leaderboard there for that.
Brilliant. And you want to see Rich's attempt?
Yeah, come on, let's have a
Put
look.
Rich up first
So
and
yeah,
then young
you go
Tommy.
first.
Here we go, mate. Right, so here's Rich's first 3 darts. First up, underarm.
Underarm, right.
Let's see how he gets on.
My poor wolves. How do I even stand? All right. Oh, that didn't quite work. That one's in there. It's hanging on by a thread. That's all, nearly. Right, that's 21 there, my man.
21, mate.
Yeah.
So your next 3 darts is flight first.
Now that don't feel weird.
No, just don't stab yourself in the eyeball or anything.
I nearly did. I swear to God, I nearly did. That comes close, man. Oh, that was cool. Ah, what? That's a bullseye.
Is that an 8?
8 scored, mate. 8 scored.
And your last 3 darts are dizzy darts. So
Right.
spin 10 times,
yeah.
and then throw your 3
Right.
darts.
Okay, let's do that. Right, there's nothing. Hang on, let me just move that. Right, let's do it. Right, ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jesus Christ, that is like what? Wow, mate, the whole room's spinning. Oh my God, I can't even. I still ain't registered that.
Is that 32, mate?
19, 3 and 10, yeah, 32, mate, yeah. What? Dude, what?
So
Right,
you've
fun
got-
man like that for ages.
30, 40, 52, 53, 61, I think. It could be
61,
60.
is it?
I think it is, mate. I don't know. I can't add. I've just made that up. So anyway, if it is
How do I
61,
turn this back round? Go. Yep.
if it is 61, good luck, Tommy. Try and see if you can beat that, son.
Oh, he's in it, done it. I thought you said he'd done it.
Yeah, but on the recording, you go
Oh,
first. Oh, mate.
do you want to do that again?
No, it's all right, mate.
Oh, dear, I can't wait for Tuesday, I'm telling you.
Right.
Wicked.
Good luck, Tommy.
Sweet.
Good luck, me. I never read Tommy. Oh, I'd already told him before we recorded. There's like Tommy's
Yeah.
already went, obviously, but on the podcast we do it the other way. We have it.
You swap it. Yeah,
I said he's last Tommy not went. I was like, yeah, but on the podcast. Oh,
swap it over.
jeez, well, mate. Yeah. So then he's like, I
Let's
can't
see
wait
that.
to Tuesday. Well, if you watch it on Tuesday, you're a day late. It's on the Monday. It comes out.
Yeah,
Oh,
see when he watches it.
Yeah, he's an absolute maniac.
Oh, good luck.
So 61 he got.
61.
61. Do you think Tommy's beat him, mate? I'd meant to ask you before anyone had thrown a dart. Who do you think's going to win?
Yeah, I think Tommy's going to beat him, to be
You
honest.
think you'll beat him?
61. I think we're heading
So-
3-0 down.
Here we are. So I was going to say, mate, here we go. Has Rich managed to claw back a bit of dignity for the admin team? Here
Yeah,
we
we
go.
need it, don't we?
Let's find out, mate. Right, well, Rich is already thrown. Let's see how Tommy gets on. Your first
Right, here we go.
3 darts are underarm, Tommy.
Bloody hell. Right, first one in. I'm scared. Oh, that's a good start. That's a great start. I'm not 3 foot while I'm underarming.
Nil point. So, next one is flight first.
Oh, how am I going to do that? So like that, basically.
Yes.
So here we go.
Felt there's something was thrown in my eye or something.
Oh, that was close.
Oh!
Right, this
Oh. Nearly.
18.
Right, so your last 3 darts, Tommy, are dizzy darts.
Okay, hold on.
Surely you're going to hit the
I'm
bloody
gonna
board
see.
here, pal.
No. You could trust me. Okay.
Alright.
Spin 10 times and then throw your 3 darts.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now stand behind you.
Oh. Oh, God.
Oh, yes.
21.
Oh. Oh.
21.
That's not bad. Take 21.
Yeah, it's all right, mate. You should see some of the scores in the past. Right, that'll do us then. Let's see how we got on. Let's tally the scores up.
My head.
Yeah, well.
Excellent.
21 for Tommy. That's tough, but the first 2, especially the flight first one, I've not
Flight
tried
Spurs.
it, but that must
No.
be absolute killer.
No, no.
I don't know how Rich managed to get 2 to stick.
Yeah, he
How
did
he
all right
managed,
there.
yeah, how he
Yeah.
managed to get 2 to stick, I'll never
Yeah.
know.
Sorry I doubted you, Rich.
Yeah, mate. So that's 2-1.
Excellent. Yeah.
Admin's on their comeback. But yeah, so that's challenged the admin. Yeah,
Yeah, excellent. That.
crazy, mate. Yeah, it's all good, mate. It's all good. Do you want to go into the league tables then? We'll get that out of the way and then
Yeah,
that should do
have
us,
a look, see.
if we have to.
Week
Yeah,
3.
Sick, mate. You see it okay, mate?
Yes, it's all there, yeah, now.
Good, mate. Just get all the way down. Jesus Christ, we've got that many bloody tables now. So let's go through it. But Joe Johnson with a 4-2 against Egri. I still can't believe that Egri throws with his weak hand and wins legs. I can
Yeah,
hardly
still-
hit the board. Never mind bloody
Still
win
has
a
a
leg.
half-decent average.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mate, it's totally bananas.
Difficult that, wasn't it, on the opposite hand tournament? there?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we'll sort of had a bit more appreciation for what he actually
definitely,
achieves.
yeah.
And we've got Jake Ryder with a 4-1 against Dan Butler. Get Nick Mitchell 4-2 against Craig Jones. Dan H 4-0 against Tom Pavitt. I thought Tom was actually quite well up there. Maybe I'll do it tell him in a wee second. Look at that. Young Colin, 3 each against Grant
Yes,
Silk.
done well there, hasn't he?
Grant Silk was definitely up there, was he not? Yeah, and you thought he was?
Yes.
He's done great. Yeah, Tom Pavitt was up there as well. Well, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he won one and lost one.
Just won this first one.
Yeah, well done, young Colin. That's two draws and a loss he's had.
Yeah, he's
Well
really
done,
come
young
on,
man.
hasn't he?
Yeah, that's enough. 2 draws, that's no mean feat, mate.
Go in that.
But up at the top of the pile, we've got Dan H. With an unbeaten run. First 3 wins.
Yeah, 3 wins there.
And we get Nick Mitchell and Grant sitting in second place. Joint second. Yeah. Looking good in there, mate. Up into Kate. Get Levi with a 4-0 against K West. I'm sure that was Tom's pick, was K West.
Was it? Is that what you said?
I'm sure that was one of the ones that he picked. And young Tommy, who we've just seen, he get beat 4-2 by Dan Humphrey. Josh Hunt with a 4-1 against John D. Regan J. 4-2 against Richard Farley. And Michael Davis get beat by Lewis C. 4-1 as well, mate.
Standings.
Yeah. Oh, she's a wee bit tighter. This is a wee bit more
Still, yeah.
spread, yeah. Well spread out there. Anyone's game. Yep. Regan J up sitting top of the pile. Just by 1 point though. Another 3 guys in the chase.
So who did you think for this one then?
I can't actually, mate.
Remember?
I'm sure I backed young Tommy. Get your finger out, Tommy.
Yes,
Uh,
sort yourself out, so we come on.
think I might have went for Dan Humphrey as well. I think
Dan,
and
yeah, I think Dan was
Dan
up there,
and
wasn't he?
Levi. I think that was who I picked. Mate. I could be talking.
Mind you,
nonsense,
has he
but
got his games to play there, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh, so he has me. I haven't even noticed that.
Yeah, so he's going to be up there. Yeah.
Oh, that's a catch up from last week.
Oh, is it? Right.
Yeah. You know that the result hasn't been put in. I'll double check once we come off. Oh, I've got 2 matches that have still not been played in Group J. Pete Stewart still to play, and Peter and Taylor Sargent and Neil Hopkin and Tom Matthews have still to play. Daniel Wellesby and Mislav. Yep, that second name, 3 each. And Noah Vorwerk with a 4-1 against Neil Turner. Ooh. Ronan Foley with a 4-1 against Daniel Hucker. Again, it's pretty tight in here, but Tom Matthews could.
Yeah,
Jump
he's
up.
against plays up there.
Is he still to play? Neil Hopkin. That should be a good match. Nice and tight. That's what we like to see.
Hugh Stewart there as well, still to play.
Yep. Always sniffing about. Yeah. On to Group I. Only got 1 match still to play, and that's Peter the Mad Dog still to
Yes.
play well. Cole Whittle with a 4-1. He seems to be flying as well, Cole.
Goal.
Yeah, ever since you get that bloody... What was it you got again? What was that thing that he won?
Was it
Wasn't
with more of
wasn't
the
the
Ruffles?
Yeah, it wasn't the Omni, it was the other one.
Was it the ball?
No, it was the... What's the other... It's not the Omni, the other thing, it's the same idea.
Oh, the birds.
Vert, that was it, the Vert camera
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. So get Cole, 4-1. Adam Smith, or Smythe, whatever way you're saying that name, gets beaten by Mike Ellers, 4-1 as well. It's all 4-1s in this group. Ryan Butch, 4-1 against Alfie Haycox. And Nick Gerard, 4-1 against Luke Elson. See what that's done at the tables. Oh, the 2 big dogs are... 2 top
Phew.
ones are...
Yeah, play each other.
You know, the 2 of them will go into joint first, or one of them will jump above.
Yeah, pull away.
A wee 3-point lead against everyone. Very nice. I like to see, mate, as I said. All games played in Group H. Well done, boys. Ryan Hasgate, 4-2 against James Hutch. Greg Roberts with a 4-2 against Ross Hasty. Michael McFarland, 4-0 against Gary B. Eric H, 4-2 against Martin Knight. Oh, Martin actually won his team league match. He was playing
Yeah, I saw that come through.
young Tommy, I think it
Tommy.
was.
Yeah, he played Tommy, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's not had many wins recently as our Martin. I seen Sandra. I reached out to Sandra. I think she's sort of keen to try and come back into the fold. She had
Yeah, I
been through-
saw a message go in.
Yeah, she been through a couple of things of just been unwell, so that was why she withdrew. So I think she's obviously starting to feel a bit better. So
Get on and get some friendlies and stuff
Yeah,
like that. And
definitely, mate.
in the,
Yeah,
it'd be good that.
we've got Mark Slater with a 4-2 against David Jones. Oh, Eric H. Eric Viking, you're flying away with it. I'm not quite flying away with it, but I like to make it sound better than it actually is.
Brothers.
Yeah. Mark Slater and Greg Roberts bringing up the rear. So yeah, Martin's sitting bottom of the thing again. I'm totally shocked by that, mate,
Yeah.
to be honest. Totally shocked. And Group G, you get Matt Stevens and Gary Plummer. Get your finger out, Gary. Come on. You playing that, son? That's actually his pal. Matt Stevens is
Yeah, I was going to
Gary's
say, I think
friend.
they're friends, aren't they?
Yeah. 'Cause I think it was actually Matt that said to Gary, or it was vice versa. One of them said to the other one about the group. That's how the 2 of them came about.
Right, is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah, mate. So 2 of them still to play. We've got Neo the 1 and Ellis Frank with a 3 all. Henrik Larsson and Matthew O'Leary with a 3 each. Curtis Button, 4-2 against Earl Rich.
Right.
Tracy Hiscock,
Yeah, grudge match. Between each
Derek.
other there.
Yeah. How smug must Tracy have been in the house after that match, mate? Jesus Christ.
Uh,
To be fair, Tracy was
What?
my pick. I picked Tracy as one of my
yeah.
one of my tips. No, that's what I
She-
like to see,
she's,
Tracy.
first win on the board there.
Yep.
Laura.
Yeah, Matthew O'Leary. Matthew's a good player.
Yeah.
I've played Matthew a few times. He's a good player. Rich is hanging about there as well, mate.
Dropped out there, but
He's not far off. Yeah. Big guys sitting the bottom of the pile there. Guys and Matt. I'd actually back
Pair of them,
Matt,
yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
was it?
Oh.
Is it one of you said that might go
I'm sure
up?
it was Matt, Tracy, and Matthew, I think I picked. I think that was my 3 picks.
Through it, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I've played Matthew quite a few times and I know how good a player he can be.
Yeah.
Up into Group F, mate.
Good pass.
Jake Greenwood and Kyle Jobson still to play. Got Peter Peters for 3 each with Dan Hutchinson. I just keep meaning to mention the fact that the 9 darts challenge, it was actually Peter Peters that won that. He had the highest score out of everyone, but nobody seems to mention it. I've not done it again.
so-
But he was the one that got the best score out of everyone,
Yeah.
and there was quite
I
a
think
few
he was,
attempts.
You was going to bring it back, wasn't you, at one point? And he,
Yeah.
I think he said, no, I want to keep it as it is.
Yeah, just
It's
leave
like
it.
his main achievement.
Yeah, it's my only win.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll get Rob Smith with a 4-2 against Matthew Stocking.
Yeah. Good win there.
Yeah, so Rob's off to a flyer. James Donnelly, a 4-0 against Jamie Lynch. And Jardinio and Billy Hamilton share the spoils.
Draw.
Let's see who's in the top. There's Rob, top of the pile.
Rob's going there.
Well, myself and Tom had both picked Rab. I know how. I've played Rab a lot of times, and if Rab gets on, Rab really gets
He
on.
can play. Yeah.
His doubles, he's
Oh,
very good with his doubles. Sometimes he struggles to get to his double, but if you let him get
once
back
he's there.
into it, yeah, you'll take it out usually pretty quickly.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, Billy Hamilton and
Good luck.
James
Top of the
Donnelly.
pile.
Yeah, seems to be a bit of a split there. It's the first time I've seen a big gap between the top 3 and then the next ones.
Yeah, I know it's early days, but I suppose these are the ones that count towards the end of the season as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? You know, when you get into it, like.
Well, that was the last season, mate. I think you and I were in the same league. Because it came down to the
Last season, it was,
the last
yeah.
match. And
Yeah.
all I was getting was draw after draw after draw. No, sorry, that was the season before, but even that season, it was like too many draws. The season before that, it was just draw after draw. Wasn't losing a lot of matches, but just constantly drawing, and you're going, it just punishes you at the end. You get to the end.
Yeah,
of the
when
season.
you get to the last couple of weeks, you think,
Yeah.
you pick up a couple of points here and there. It does make a difference when it's tight, doesn't it?
Yep. So obviously wins are what you're really looking for.
Yeah. There's no losses at the minute.
Yeah.
We can take it.
So, what Group E? We'll find out in a minute, actually. So we're into Group E. Get Jack Webster and DJ Shanksy still to play. Kev Dick against Denny Stevens. Obviously, that was a forfeit.
Yes. I think DJ Shanksy, I think he's has to leave as well, so I think we're
Oh,
currently
has he,
looking
mate?
for a replacement on that
Oh,
one. I
that's...
think.
Sorry, I didn't realise that. I've obviously
I
missed
think
that
he's still.
message,
I think he's still playing the Premier League, but
yeah,
he couldn't commit to the league. So
yeah. Just think
that's
that's the
probably
same
why
with
that's
the
not.
Davy boy. He's pulled out as well. But he wants to continue into the Premier League as well. He said it suits him more because of.
I might be
I think it's
mistaken then on that.
Well, yeah, I
He
think
was
you
one
might
of
be
the
thinking. I think you might be thinking of Davy boy, mate.
Right, okay, I'm mistaken. Yeah,
He said it suits him. It's they try to squeeze in the arranged matches, whereas the Prem is a fixed. It's a fixed time. There's no.
Yeah, that's it. You know,
arranged games.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
you make it.
Yeah. So Michael Carey and Luke with a 3 each. That's a good result for Luke because Michael's been playing bloody great. Hopefully he keeps up dipping form tonight in the bloody Prem. or last night if you're watching this. Steve Hunt with a 4-0 against Daniel Newman.
Lehman.
Ooh. Julian Reha 4-0 against the Hedgehog, John Watson. Woofty. John Watson, what are you doing, John? Did you? I mean,
He's at the bottom there. That's,
that game against Tom. I mean, their
went
averages
all
were
the way, didn't it?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the two of their averages were great. I mean, that was like
Yeah.
when it's bloody what that out 7 sets they played.
Yeah, it was. Wasn't
7
it?
sets, and the two of them were in like
I think it only just
50-something
didn't go
averages.
to the last leg. Yeah.
50-something averages the two of them had. I mean, that's good going over that length of sort of format. It's Steve Hunt and Michael Carey.
Yeah, top of the bunch.
Yeah. Here's where the big dogs live, mate.
We'll go
Aaron
in.
Flynn and I'm sure they've played that.
Yeah, they have. I think
Tom
Tom
won.
won 4-1.
4-1. I'm going to put
I
that in,
think
mate.
it's 4-1.
Definitely.
Don't
No, I put that in,
say
mate.
a word for it, but
No, it
I'm
was.
sure Tom won. Yeah.
It was. He definitely played Aaron, and I'm sure.
Yeah.
Unless they played in another thing, but I don't think they did.
No, I think that's what it was.
Chris Jordan and Kyle Miller, I don't know if they
I think they
played.
would.
And Charlie Lawrence and Mike Singleton, again, no idea.
I think Charlie actually gave Mike the win on that. But again, I might be wrong.
Yeah,
but I'm
I'll
sure I
leave
saw
that,
it
mate.
in the
I'll just
chat
leave that
before.
just now. I've never
Yeah.
seen that one, so. And yeah, so Tyler Neal got beat by John Deere. Paul Horton, I told you earlier on, 4-2.
Yeah, pulling over on you.
Yeah.
Like you said before, it's unusual that.
The two of us even said it. Two of us said it were both ranked rotten. It was just like,
Was it?
ranked. Terrible darts. And like I said, Tom and Aaron with a 4-1. Still got Charlie Lawrence, Chris Jordan and Kyle Miller. We don't know if they've played. Potentially they have already been played. And also last week, as I said, that catch-up match, Chris Jordan, 3 each.
Yeah.
So I'm still sniffing about, mate.
Yeah, you're there, aren't you? Doing
Joint
thereabouts?
second,
So
mate. Joint second. See
Well,
what happens.
top.
As long as I'm above
Tom's-
Tom. As long
Tom's
as
been
I'm above
elevated
that,
there.
as long
I'd
as
be
I'm
happy to
above
see
that
that.
guy right there, as long as I'm above him, I'm happy, mate.
Well, then this season.
Yeah. There was my pick down here, Tyler. Bloody Tyler Neal. I picked
Tyler, yeah.
Paul Horton, Tyler, and Tom. That was my 3 picks, I'm sure.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Spread out a bit there, then.
And then Tom Bighead, he picked himself. That's how cocky he is. Not worked out though, Tom has it.
I was surprised he's not on tonight with his first win. I thought he might want to
Yeah.
set something.
On with the crown and the cape and all that.
yeah. Full. Must be out celebrating.
Yeah, coming out with the entry music and all that sort of stuff. Into Group C. Somebody lives in here as well.
Yeah, we're up here.
Oh,
We're in here.
well, no. Carol. The Scottish Carol. It's hilarious. I said that last week. We can't say Carol.
Yeah, you can't say
You
Carl.
can't say it. The Scottish people just can't do it. It's hilarious. They've still to play. There's Martin. Oh, look at that,
Yes.
son. 4-1. Ben's a good bloody player as well.
He is. Yeah, I think I've played him only a couple of times, though, to be honest. But you know, he's well beaten me before, like. But
Right. I've never played. I don't think I've ever played him. If I have, it was obviously in a one-night tournament
in the
thing.
tournament.
There's Cohen with a 4-1 against Jay Russell as well.
Yeah, it's a good result that as well.
Adam Davis with a 4-2 against Dale Woodcock. And Darryl Hester with a 4-1 against Andy Stevens.
Darryl seems to be flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, 3
Look at
wins.
that. Look at
Oh,
that.
we're up there, in and around.
Sitting second. Sitting pretty in
Love that.
second, mate. Let's
Throw my wins in.
Yeah, that's what I said. It does even itself out. You're in that.
Yeah.
You're in that division for a reason.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
it's one of those ones because even the guys, it's like myself, you're going right. Well, although I've went up a couple of divisions or whatever, you're going, but it's obviously where I'm sitting in the league says, well, obviously that's where I should be.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's the same
that's
as
it,
some of the
and it's
guys
worked
that you're
out.
thinking, oh, they would have been above you or whatever. You going, but look,
Yeah.
they are and they're struggling. So it's one of those ones.
Yeah, it's all worked out as it is.
Yeah, I think it has, mate. I think it's looking good. Here we go into the longer format, guys.
Yeah, the 10-leggers.
I actually quite like the 10 legs. I don't know if you've played them.
It's good to play a little. What was it? I played the 11. Was it 11 legs in? I think it's one of the tournaments.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's quite good on the sets as well. Like a longer format's always good to have, isn't it?
I do think that I used to be in a league. It was ages and ages ago, and that's what it was. It was the best of 10.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes if you get off to a poor start, I don't know yourself, but you can get off to a poor start, and then just as you start to come back into it, the game's finished.
Yeah.
So it can be quite good from that point of view. But I do think some guys don't like it. It takes too long. If you're not that good a player, it can drag a bit. So I do like that, the fact that the top two have got the longer format. Once I end up in those divisions, I'll
be doing it, right?
So yeah, Colin Prestige with a 6-0. Holy moly, Colin. Michael Wood and Matthew Clark with a 5 each. Well, Matthew's, because he's in my team, in the team league, and that's what he said. He's not playing well at the moment at all. Said he's...
Yeah, I've got him in the team league at 6, so hopefully we'll see.
That was what he said, mate. Because he said that in my group thing. It's like, that's not what I want to hear. And he says, come on, give us a game then to boost my confidence.
Oh, yes. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, so Jack Thomas with a 6-2 against Brian Gelling. Oh. Gav and Jamie Scott.
Yeah, one's even there.
With a draw, yeah. Played Gav just a friendly. Was it yesterday? Oh, wow. You hear this quite a lot. That was like the two of us. Because Gav actually messaged over, what the hell is this? The two of us were like 30 odd average after about 2 legs. It was like,
it? Yeah.
What the hell is going on?
You get days like that, don't you? But yeah.
My days seem to be turning into weeks though, mate. That's the only problem.
Yeah, a bit longer than you wanted.
Every now and again I get lucky and it happens to be like a league match and I play actually quite well. But a lot of the time I'm just throwing absolute garbage. It's like tonight I'll definitely be getting some practice since I didn't do that last week and I paid the price when I went into the Premier League thing.
The press.
I went straight in, honest to God, no practice whatsoever. I think I threw about 3 darts and then that was me ready to go. And it's just, you're not going to go in play any decent darts.
I think you need something, at least 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, maybe 5-10 minutes. Yeah. But Chris Stewart, 60 against Andy Jones. So there we go. Chris sitting at the top of the pile, and Jamie will not tell you what I call him.
Yeah.
Honest to God, I went through a phase of every tournament and I would draw Jamie in either the first round or the second round, and it was like, boom, out you go, kicked out. That was why that's how his nickname came about.
Yeah, no,
in case any of you new guys,
I seem to remember.
Yeah. In case any of you new guys are wondering why that's his nickname, that is why it's his nickname. It was me that gave him it. He didn't ask for it, I gave him it. So yeah. But Matthew Clark, there we go. As he was saying, he's just not playing well at all. He's
it's not thrilling.
Yeah. So here we go, mate. You ready to see this? The big guns.
Yeah, it's boys are.
Chris Bishop, Mark Jackson still to play. James and Ollie, they're playing tonight, I'm sure. I don't know if they will be playing though.
No, I think James, because he's back, I think he put it back a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think we're going to need an extension on that one.
Yeah.
I guess back to what we say I say it every week, but if any of you are struggling to play your match, just let us know, give it a bit of notice, let us know what's happening, and we'll give you an extension if you need it. But obviously, if you just leave it at the last minute and don't bother communicating with anyone, you're not getting an extension. It's down as a loss. But if you let us know, we'll happily give you an extension. Okay. James West, 6-2 against Gavin Fry. Oh, there's It's with a 6-1 against Jim Coulson Rice. And there's Neil back to his winning ways. He sort of off to a draw start. So
Getting on with his darts again now, isn't he?
his new darts are starting to behave themselves, maybe. So, yeah. Well, there's Neil versus James next week.
We got next week.
That'll be a good game. So, here we go. James is still sitting top of the pile and he's not even played yet.
He's got Ollie there, so yeah. Could jump up, Ollie.
Ollie plays the way he did in bloody midweek. Good luck, James.
Yeah, against him, yeah.
Yeah, just not got much of a chance against that, mate. But yeah,
no, there's nothing you can do against that, is there?
Nope, absolutely nothing, mate.
Well, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
So let's see what matches are on next week for the big guns, actually. So it's and Gavin Fry, James West, Chris Bishop, Mark Jackson, Noah H, Ollie Carter, Jim Coulson Rice, and Neil and James Morgan. Obviously, as we said, we've still got the James Morgan, Ollie Carter, and Chris Bishop, and Mark Jackson. But yeah, so
always good games, like, aren't they?
Yeah, mate.
To be fair,
it's always good, Paul. But yeah, and that's the league tables, guys. A lot of good results in there as well, a lot of strange ones. Yeah. You want a wee riddle before we go, mate?
So I don't think I ever got the answer of that other one you did the other day.
I have but one man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a manager. Many men.
Yes.
A manager, you get many men, mate.
Yes.
Although someone
I was going a woman, a woman.
Someone had actually come up with an answer which was better than my answer, to be honest. Theirs was mankind. It's actually better than my answer.
That worked, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on then. Let's say you got one.
What is always in front of you but can't be seen? Do you think you know it?
I think I do know it, yeah.
We'll tune in next week, guys, and we'll see if he's got it. We'll see if Martin's got it. We can laugh at him.
I've got it.
And go, if he's got it wrong. Because he'll look like a fool.
Possibly.
Yeah. I think that'll do us, mate. Thank you very much for coming on, Martin.
Thanks for having us. Brilliant. Yeah. Cheers, thanks.
Catch you later, guys.
Good luck tonight.
Cheers again. Yeah.
Take care.
See you later.
See you later.